I guess it was at 370 and 94. There was always a big billboard for the Lincoln County Fair, and they always had like Montgomery Gentry or somebody that was big
Oh
like
yeah,
a decade ago, like headlining it. I'm like, oh, we need to go out there. Never have.
yeah. They always got Sawyer Brown, and that's my band. They played at we got lucky enough one time down at Disney for I think it was Food and Wine. Sawyer Brown was playing, and I had it made. I was at Epcot listening to Sawyer Brown. It was good for me.
Yeah, I heard this morning at Riverport they're going to have Brooks and Dunn and Travis Tritt and a bunch of. I was like, yeah.
That's 90s country. There you go.
I was playing some Brooks and Dunn in the Jeep the other night. We went up to Dairy Queen. My daughter hated it. You'll know, man. Back in the day, we used to go to a little bit of Texas and tear it up out in Earth
City. There you go.
That's a church. All right.
Oh, shoot.
Oh, man. Okay, so this will be for Monday, 1919. We'll get going here. Hey, Justin. Happy Wednesday down in Tampa. All right. Here we go. Welcome to episode 1919 of the Be Our Guest Walt Disney World Trip Planning Podcast. I'm your host, Mike Rallman from BeOurGuestPodcast.com and one of the senior agents over at the Magic for Less Travel. Happy Monday to you. Hope you had an amazing weekend and a great Father's Day to all the Disney dads out there. Hopefully the fam took good care of you and you didn't have to do anything. Now, if you cut the grass tomorrow or yesterday and you're a dad, you're doing this whole thing wrong. Unless you got a new lawnmower, then you're doing it right? I mean, whatever it takes. But hope all the Disney dads had a great day. Everybody had an awesome weekend. But let's kick off yet another great June week with a trip report. We're heading down to Walt Disney World today, but actually with our guest, we're just heading up the road just a bit to Lincoln County. My good buddy Rob's joining us. Rob, how you doing today?
Oh, not too bad, Mike. How about yourself?
Not too bad. Can't complain. Another week, another day to to get some stuff done and make it productive and make somebody's day. That's the way I look at my Mondays.
Yeah, it's hot and humid, in our neck of the woods. It feels like I'm in Disney right now, sweating in the heat.
Right. Right before we recorded this, I looked on Twitter and I follow like WDW weather or some bot account that every hour it gives the weather and the sky conditions. Like right now it's partly cloudy. 78 at Walt Disney World right now. I'm like, I need to go south so I can cool off. What's up?
Who'd have thought?
Right. Okay. So we are going to talk about a couple of your more recent trips. You've gone a lot since the parks have reopened post the closure last summer this time. But before we hop into all that and talk about these last couple of trips, give me some of your background on Disney. Why are you a Disney fan? How did it all start for you?
I never grew up going to Disney, never did anything much out of town. I grew up on a farm and someone had to take care of the cattle, so you couldn't leave for more than a day or two at a time. And when we got married, me and my wife used to travel a decent amount, go to the Caribbean, and we started having kids and wanted to look at something all inclusive. And we couldn't find anything in the States or something, for the kids, looked at different places. And my wife finally broke me down to go to Disney. And, we got the dining package and went down there with her brother and sister-in-law, and then her mom and dad, and went down to their family on the first time. And, it was okay. I just didn't know how to Disney. And I think there's an art to it. And then, I don't know, it was about 12 months later, we still went to go somewhere, and they came out with the free dining package. They come out with that in January, it seems like, and we stayed at All-Star Sports, and we were there for probably about 6 days and had the dining package. And by then I'm an engineer by trade, and I do this, and this, and really did my planning and had it worked out. And by the end of that, I knew where to get the most expensive meal with the best drink. And I thought I had one over on Disney. And to be honest, and then we had one more trip. My wife called me. She got a great last minute deal in 2019 in September. I want to say it was Labor Day weekend. It was right before a hurricane hit. Everyone's leaving Florida, and our lack of intelligence out here, we decided we're going right to Florida. You got a great deal airfare and at the parks, and we did a week down there. And with the hurricane, I thought I'd better get a dining plan again that time, and we did that and just man, we got to ride all the rides, and my kids fell in love with it. And since then, we got season passes, and I travel quite a bit for work, and I got to spend the points somewhere. And I like how pristine it is. There's you and I grew up around here, and you go to Six Flags, and there's about 30 coats of paint on the Screaming Eagle, and you can stick your finger, it feels like, through the boards, going up there. And you go to Disney World, and it is just it's perfect. And that's what I like about it. When you go on vacation, you're not really settling. And
Right.
I just really like that part.
Well, you too, and you mentioned Six Flags, which is a local theme park, which again, I was kind of like you. We never went out of town as a kid. We hung home locally. I played ball. My dad never let me miss a baseball game. He was worked the most in the summer, and it was a big deal to go to Six Flags here. But I will tell you, it's kind of funny because our Six Flags in St. Louis started in 1971 is when it opened, just like Walt Disney World. They've already had their 50th. It was in June earlier this month. And, I think back to that, my grandpa and my dad both helped put in the concrete in Old Chicago section, which is where the Screaming Eagle is.
Oh,
Once it was the tallest and fastest roller coaster in the world. And that thing is
yeah.
just the scariest roller coaster to get on, not because it's the tallest or fastest, because you just hold on and hope you can make a corner if it doesn't fall apart, because you're flying on a wooden roller coaster that's seen better days. But yeah, what I think it makes you appreciate, you and me that have grown up in a place like a local amusement park, when you go to Walt Disney World, and even though Walt Disney World will be 50 years in October, it still feels like it opened yesterday. I mean, there's a dramatic difference there.
Absolutely. And the thing is, you go to Six Flags, it's for the rides. And that's the first thing when I started going to Disney is, no, we got to ride. And, at Disney, there's so much more than the rides. Like, sit back and the shows. And, I thought it was just for kids, but me and my wife went down on our own a couple of times, and there's a lot of things for adults.
I still haven't done that because my daughter would kill me. Kill me, but I want to. I'm going to someday. So we'll make that work. Okay, one more question, then we're gonna hop into the trip, the report and stuff like that from your recent trips. But from the time you've been going, or if you've researched stuff, read old books, our good buddy Christopher Smith puts out books on Disney history. If you could bring back anything from the last 50 years, an attraction, a show, a parade, a promotion, something like that. Boom, October 1st, you get to bring it back. What are you bringing back this year?
Man, so we just started going in, I want to say it was like 18, maybe it was 17, but it was right after they closed the Great Movie Ride. And I just wish I could have seen it. That's the one that I'm always, because I got Mickey and Minnie's there. I'm like, I wonder what this was before. And we've watched it on YouTube, but it just doesn't do it justice for being there,
Yeah. I will say, I think I'm in the minority here. At least the people I know, Scott and all my friends, Ricky and everybody. I know a lot of folks really like Mickey and Minnie's Runaway Train. But the thing is, I was a Great Movie Ride guy, but I'm a nostalgia guy, so I would rather have the Great Movie Ride back. It was an epic adventure. But I'm always most of the time gonna go for the old attraction. That's just me, because I guess I'm an old dude. Got to go for the old stuff.
No, I gotcha. I hear you. It's hard to turn loose of things.
It is. Okay, so let's talk about your trip. Now, the one I want to talk about, your most recent one over Memorial Day weekend. You guys stayed at Saratoga. Now, I want to hear about Saratoga because it doesn't get much love here on the podcast, yet you've stayed there a few times recently. So why did you land at Saratoga, and what did you think?
We stayed at quite a few places, and I think Saratoga gets it's a bad rap. And in my opinion, the refurbished rooms are gorgeous. We've done, the DVC tour. They're on par, in my opinion, with the rooms at Riviera. You don't got the Skyliner. But, some of the great things about Saratoga is the location at Disney Springs. We've been to Disney enough. We love going over to Disney Springs in the evening. And, a couple of times down there, we like to golf. And it's right there on the golf course, and just that. And the pools there are pretty doggone good, too. You've got the High Rock pool. It's a zero entry, a big feature pool. And we actually tend to stay at the paddock over there, right next to the paddock pool. It's a little bit quieter, but it's got the big water slide. Personally, I like it better than Boardwalk's pool, no doubt about it. Just and it's easy to get. Saratoga, the deluxe resorts. I think when you're trying to rent them, go on purchase them through and get pass holder discounts, it's usually the cheapest that we can afford on the deluxe package. And I'm just a big fan of it, to be honest with you.
And it's a great choice because it's a huge resort. There's lots of availability there most times where you can't find availability other places. Disney
Yeah.
Springs has really come into its own over the last 2 to 3 years, and that walk right across the bridge. I mean, you basically have just unlimited either quick service dining, very deluxe
Oh,
dining, kind of in between. I mean, it's in the shopping, and now there's, I think especially now coming out of this summer, they're adding entertainment, and it's just going to be the place to
oh,
be to close out every night.
oh, it is. And the first time we went there was at Saratoga. We stayed with our brother and sister-in-law and in-laws. And I remember going out there and they had, concerts and a few other times we've been down there, just nice live music and so many restaurants. Paradiso used to be better, Mike. I've heard you talking about always wanting to go there. Their menu used to be bigger. I remember they had Taco Tuesdays, but it's still good food. I've been there, easy to get ADRs and last minute. But yeah, we love it. And probably about half our time ends up at Saratoga.
Now, I got to pick your brain here real quick because you mentioned you guys golf there, and you're talking about Saratoga
Yeah.
Springs, which has the Lake Buena Vista golf course adjacent. They're actually on the grounds. You're playing right through the tree houses, which are part of Saratoga. I played that
Yeah.
course, and I'm not a big golfer. I used to be when I was in high
No,
school.
me neither.
'Cause my grandpa and I, that was our thing. We play once a week over in you might even know Cloverleaf over in Illinois. It was over in Fosterburg, Illinois. By Alton, we played because it was like the cheapest place within a 50-mile radius. We did
Okay.
of course, my grandpa was cheap, but we played. But the thing is, now Scott's really into golf. We're all golfing this trip when I go down in like 3 weeks, 2 weeks. Now, what are your thoughts on golfing at Walt Disney World? Is it something that I just want to know your thoughts? I've played once in Lake Buena Vista, man. That course was hard.
It was. My wife's the golfer of us too. That's why I went down there, a little bit earlier this year. It was for her birthday. And it was hard for me, man. We're in there and we get up to the tee box. My wife, the first thing she tells me is, "Don't embarrass us. We're this couple from New Jersey and they're taking it serious." And Mike, I'm cheap. And I swear to you, on the second hole, there's a creek off to the left. And I shanked my ball to the right. And I'm like, I can see it on the other side of that creek. And I'm like, I know I can jump it. I know I can jump this creek. It was a Pro V1. Mike, I jumped and my foot sunk in and I landed right in the creek. And I had to play the rest of those. We only got through 14 holes for the sun went down. I played with soaked shoes. My wife is shaking her head. This couple from New Jersey is just looking at us. She's like, "I can't believe I married you." I can't take you anywhere nice. Anyhow, it's a tough course, but if you play it right and you look, it's got dynamic pricing. We got 18 holes for $29 a person with a cart. I mean, it's cheaper than green fees I can get out here in Lincoln County. And I got all these freaking flyer miles. It might have been cheaper to fly to Florida to play golf, but anyhow, you can usually get 18 holes for $50. If you want to, maybe 6. Very reasonable. The carts are amazing. The course is pristine. You can't beat it.
Yeah,
Fun fact: I think it's the cheapest place to buy beer at Disney in their clubhouse. So there you
I don't
go.
drink beer. I drink the expensive stuff. I only drink like margaritas. No, I know I'm not a man. I know I get it, but no. So we played that one.
Fine.
Bunch of us over marathon weekend. We decided to give it a try. Like I have super old clubs. I mean, my clubs are 30 years old. So, we rent our clubs down there and it's great because you get state of the art clubs, the big fat heads on the drivers. I mean, and that's the whole thing though. You just said what makes me nervous about playing at Disney is like, I don't want to embarrass myself and I don't play enough that when you get up on the tee, man, I feel like everybody in the world is judging. And I just know because, I was a baseball player for years and I can crush a golf ball. Problem is I can crush it like in any direction and I have no idea which because we're hitting villas over at Key West. I mean, like everybody was in fun. I was so nervous. I was like, I might kill somebody at Olivia's if I, catch one and get them on the, patio. I don't know. So I'm glad to hear though that, hey, you jumped the creek. That's something I would do for an X-out ball, and apparently they don't make X-out anymore. I didn't even know that until George told me. Okay. Anyway, let's talk about your stay. So you get down there over Memorial Day weekend. How was the crowds, the weather, and how'd you feel about that kind of stuff?
The weather was gorgeous, and we've been down, several times since the pandemic and before. And I'll tell you, crowd-wise, especially at Hollywood Studios, and this was the first time we've been back when you didn't have to wear a mask outside, right? So that was different. It was so doggone hot, I couldn't imagine. We went last August, and it was miserable. You didn't go to the parks much, but there wasn't a big crowd. It in Hollywood Studios, it felt like Disney before the pandemic. To be honest with you, Mike, it was back in Toy Story Land. It was a lot of congestion. That in the same way in over in Star Wars, I forgot the name of it over there. That
Yeah.
area. It was just really really congested at Galaxy's Edge. Magic Kingdom was pretty busy too. Epcot, not as much. Had a lot of room at Animal Kingdom still, but really Magic Kingdom and Hollywood Studios almost felt like pre-pandemic.
Now, see, you have context because you've been multiple times since the parks reopened last summer. I was there as well. I think 3 weeks after they reopened in August, just like you. And
Yeah,
back then we were just glad to be there, right? I mean, we wore the masks. I mean,
absolutely.
it was so stinking hot. Like I remember walking through World Showcase and I was thinking, man, I'm not going to make it out of here. But I was just glad because the masks they sold at Disney initially, if you remember, because I bought one when we went down to everybody kind of bought one because they're cool looking, instead of the
Yeah,
cheap ones back home. But the first ones were like really thick, almost like t-shirt material. They weren't that. Recently they've kind of made them out of more of like those sport t-shirts, like the dry fit kind of
yeah.
stuff. They're more breathable. But man, those first couple months when I bought them, and they were super thick and they just like, oh, they were miserable. So
Oh,
I'll tell you what, like when I heard that the mask mandate was relaxed for outdoor, I was so excited. So was Mallory, because
oh
Mallory
yeah,
took me on those trips. And now that it's really, relaxed pretty much except for transportation, it does make a difference, And I think the thing is, especially if you're going in, like we'll be there July 6th to the 15th, it's going to be blazing hot. And it's just going to be enjoyable because I haven't been since I could walk around World Showcase with a Coke in my hand. I mean, just something like
yeah.
that for somebody's been as much as us, that's a big deal.
It really makes you appreciate Epcot. It's just the other ones you can deal with. It's hard to go to World Showcase and have a mask on the whole time. Uh, to be honest with you, and the big thing for me was just allowing you to take pictures without a mask was the first thing. We were happy with that.
Yeah.
Memory Maker.
Yeah.
We got that with APs, and you think you got Memory Maker, which is great. We always before we had annual pass holder Memory Maker. You don't have to take your camera with you. It's fantastic. And once I found out my wife got that, we stopped at all of them, to take all these pictures. But the past couple of times, it's just hard. We got a few of them, keeps a memory, but you don't see your kids smiling. And now you got to get the Memory Maker and go down there and get all your pictures for certain.
Absolutely. Because first thing we do, like after you go on a ride, you got to wait till it gets loaded in, or you get your picture taken. Like, look at the app. See what we got. What's it like? Because sometimes, the little mystery shots with special shots with all the decorations. I love that stuff. So I didn't ask you though, what's your family like when they go down? Like, how many kids you got, age and stuff like that?
So there's 3 kids. I've got a 2-year-old about to turn 3, which that one means you got to start moving up into a different category of room. Yeah,
Yeah.
I know. I've got a 5-year-old and a 7-year-old.
Oh
So
man.
5-year-old's about to go in kindergarten, and 7-year-old's going to go in second grade. So
So,
they still young.
still though, like right now it's just like that sweet spot for those kids to go to Walt Disney World. So, and you guys go enough that, I mean, is this something they watch videos around the house? They get excited for the next
Oh,
trip. I mean, is it? I could imagine it's a big deal in your house all the time.
it's nothing but YouTube. It's my kids are so gone spoiled compared to me growing up. My 2-year-old said, "When are we going back to Disney World?" I'm like, "Georgia, this is not an every other week thing."
Right.
And
Right.
she'll and she knows when we go to Disney World, we take my truck is the time. So she always thinks if she's riding in my truck, we might be going to Disney World. She'll get her suitcase. She's the cutest thing about that. But yeah, they're spoiled, but they love it, man. That's our vacation, and that's what we do.
That's kind of, it's why we work so hard is so that we can spoil our kids. Cause I tell Mallory the same thing, we've moved to where people now like vacation a lot more than where we used to in Florissant. When we used to live over there, we were, she would go to school, and most of the kids in her class would never leave Missouri, I mean,
Yeah.
I was a kid, right? I mean, big vacation for us was like grandpa would get the F-150, the 2-tone green F-150, load 4 of us cousins in the back, and we'd ride all the way to Eureka in the back of the pickup, 45 minutes. I mean, he would be in jail. It's like that was
Oh,
vacation. We couldn't eat in Six Flags, too expensive. We drive
no.
out of the park down to the KFC, get the bucket of chicken, eat it out the parking lot, and go back in. I mean, but you don't know any better, right? And the kids don't know any better. It's just how
Yeah.
they're growing up. And I mean, that's if we didn't have it, you want your kids to have it. And I just tell
Yeah.
Mallory, appreciate it, enjoy it, but appreciate it. Know that this isn't a normal thing. And, just like you though, we're not wasteful when we're down there. We don't tend to stay in the deluxe resorts all the time. We don't splurge on souvenirs. We do that kind of stuff, but we cut back throughout the year here so that we can take vacations like this. And I'm sure it's the same for you guys.
Yeah, we do a lot of delivery, and that's why we've tended to get the one bedrooms. It almost offsets the cost difference in a studio. By the time I think we ate out twice, we might have done one quick service. The rest of it was packing sandwiches, and we got Publix delivered and Prime Now, and did all that stuff to the hotel room. And there's different ways to save and do that. I've got all the frequent flyer points to use up. Some fly-ins free, so that helps out.
It does help. Yeah, that really helps. Okay, so give me some memories you made on this trip, like with the family. Like, is there something that stood out? Sometime in the park, maybe sometime in the pool, just sometime at the resort. Like, give us a couple stories. What were some highlights of the trip?
Yeah, one of the big things. The first day we got there, we were just supposed to go to the grandstand, and our room wasn't ready. They put us over in the paddock, and I got the first section in the paddock, first floor. It's literally the closest you can get to the bus stop. I don't know if you're like me, Mike. Is you always forget something. Oh, I forgot this mug or something. You're like, God, is a bus coming? Well, this one I could literally run to our room and back, up no stairs. That was the highlight of my trip. Is my, oh crap, I forgot something. I can just run right over beside that bus stop at the carousel and run right into my room. That was my highlight. But we got there the first day, and we hit the pools, and we had reservations for Epcot. We didn't know if we were going to go or not, and we went there, and we had the best doggone food stand they have is that one right outside of Test Track, and me and my wife went a few months before, and we knew that we bought every single thing at that little kiosk there for the Flower and Garden Festival. And kids loved it.
What are they selling at that one? I think we talked about that one on Friday's podcast, or no, Wednesdays, because somebody was asking about that. Was that the one that had is that the one that had like the Fruit Loop shakes, and then it had some?
Yeah, we didn't get. Yep, it's that one. It didn't have the fruit.
Doesn't match up with that. Like, it was like a Fruit Loop shake, and I can't remember what the food item was.
They got the cinnamon. Yeah, cinnamon rolls or something. The cinnamon. We had the shrimp and grits. My son ate. We had 4 things. I forgot what it was, but man, we ate it all, and it's fantastic. Oh, the hash and eggs, that one, and the avocado toast. That's it. That's the 4 things we got.
It was that. Pam was talking about it. She's like, yeah, with the stand outside Test Track, I got some avocado toast and a shake with Fruit Loops. I'm like, those two do not go together. What are you talking about?
No, the avocado toast tastes so good. We're country folk out here. It sounds so pretentious eating this darn avocado toast, but it's
you're a millennial out in the Central West End right now, is what you are.
That's it. I felt like I was from West County, but we went out there and it was great. So we did that, and we got our pictures, and then came back. We only had 2 dining reservations on this trip. We had a few more, but I ended up canceling them again. It's just then I get cheap, and I can't justify that cost. And one of my favorite things, I think it's a hidden gem, is brunch at House of Blues. They've got that on Saturday and Sunday. And they don't open that up till 30 days before. So everyone gets their ADRs 60 days in advance, and they're filled up. And if you go wait for 30 days out, House of Blues has a brunch, and they've got the only place at Disney. The only deal I think you can get there is bottomless mimosas and Bloody Marys for like $15. Like, it's a steal. So me and my wife had some Bloody Marys and some mimosas, and we went out, and kids probably took advantage of a little bit of it. And we went out to Disney Springs and went over to Magic Kingdom for the rest of the day, and it was great. Over there, we got to ride, Peter Pan, and Thunder Mountain was real short line. Rode that a couple of times, and got to ride Splash Mountain, and then went back and hit up the pools. But that was one of our ADRs. We love House of Blues. We keep going back and back. It's usually easy to get reservations there, and just a good place. And then the next day on Sunday, we went to Animal Kingdom, and our favorite ride there at Disney World that keep going back. It doesn't matter how many times you ride it, is Flight of Passage. And my kids, I think, and that's the beauty of the age, and especially having a little one that's 2, is you get the rider swap. that was maybe another thing that made me love Disney is it sucks kind of stand in line for an hour for a ride. But the way I look at it, when I got rider swap, I stand in line for an hour and my kids get to ride it 2 times. It's like I stood in line for 30 minutes.
Right.
That's the way I play it.
Because I have two daughters, right? Paige now she's working for Mizzou. She's 24. Mallory's 13.
Mm-hmm.
But when Mallory was little and we had to do rider swap, I told Paige, you just need to call your little sister like the Golden Fast Pass, right? Because you get to ride twice. You get to ride everything twice. Like you get to ride with me and then with your mom. And then, I was like, that was the greatest thing for her. I didn't get to ride twice, but she got to every time. Yeah. The siblings really love their younger sibling because of that.
Oh, they really should. I'll tell you, the bad part is that I'm always the one that gets to stand in line, and my wife's the one that gets to take advantage of the rider swap. But it is what it is. So no, we did that, and Flight of Passage, and then on Monday we did Hollywood Studios. And so one thing I found out last year when we went during the pandemic, or right when they first opened up after the closure, is I stayed at Beach Club, and we were looking forward to this, and they didn't have the pools open at Beach Club. You go there, and that's the whole reason you go is what is it, Stormalong Bay? They told us it
2 weeks.
Yeah, man. And so they told us that any deluxe resort, except for Polynesian, because it's closed, we could go to any pool at any deluxe resort. And I'm like, someone told me that, and I just went with it, and no one ever stopped me. So we checked out a few pools then. So anyhow, we went to Hollywood Studios, and I'm like, hey, we're staying at a deluxe resort. Let's go. They got the new pool over there at Boardwalk. So let's, we stayed there before, and let's go see what the new one is. And went and saw the new Keister Coaster pool. And funny thing is, we just went there, for about an hour, and then we're going to go out to Epcot and park hop over to there. And I just hear this whistle. I turn around. I told my kids, like, hey, we're getting out. Stay in the shallow end. Let's walk out. And I turn around, and for some reason, my 5-year-old decides to go and walk back in. She's not the best. She just walks in. And I guess I hear the lifeguards go, and everything stops. And my wife's like, that's Mabel. It's got to be Mabel. And I turn around. I'm like, yep, there they're holding my 5-year-old. You feel like the worst doggone parent and everything there. I'm like, what's going on? We just stopped by. But anyhow, we went over there to Boardwalk. We did Epcot again and just enjoyed that, and kind of went around, actually got to see World Showcase and see the rest of the booths, and hit up, a few of those snack places there.
Nice. Yeah, that's you're right though. I mean, I guess you were there when the NBA was using the Stormalong Bay. What a shame.
Yeah.
I know.
Yeah, it was.
Cool. Yeah, it was in the NBA was in the bubble. I remember that.
Yeah, but that's the one thing is, we had seen it before, but man, they've got so many lifeguards, and it's just the safety that they take, and they've probably got a half dozen. I just got to commend them on the quality they have there. It's not your local pool where they're two lifeguards just talking on their phone. They take it serious there. So really got to commend them, even though I won Dad of the Year. We went. Then we went to Magic Kingdom the next day. And that was probably the longest day we spent at the parks. We've been annual pass holders and going so many times. I used to, when you'd buy the ticket, there was something different. If I bought that ticket, we're there 12 hours a day. Kids, we're just going.
Exactly. Yes.
You do. And you're just.
The difference. We went to Silver Dollar City this past weekend, and never been there, and so I didn't know what was going on. Right? I mean, I'd never been in the park. I hadn't even done that much research. Just surprised my wife for 15th anniversary. Went down, and the thing was, I bought a 2-day pass. It's like going to Six Flags again. Like I bought the pass for Saturday and the pass for Sunday, and dang it, we were getting our money's worth out. We were there like an hour before it opened, and we stayed till it closed. And I mean, I was exhausted. We had a good time, but like I'm used to Walt Disney World. Like we'll go in the morning, then it's pool time, nap time, go back for a couple hours at night, and call it a day. It definitely wasn't relaxing like that.
Yeah, and that's it. Is I feel like I got to get my most money out of it, kids. We're going to use up. You got your fast passes better be gone through by 10 a.m. And now we're just going to go to the next fast pass. Whatever's available, let's do this. And it's just run. We're going to schedule fun, and scheduled fun isn't always fun. And
right.
So I might be one of those people that getting rid of fast passes, as much as I love them, as much as I plan them, but it's so much more relaxed not having them. I'll be honest with you.
Really? See, I was going to
It
ask.
makes for a little bit more enjoyable.
I was going to ask you if your team Fast Pass, you want to come back or not. Now, see, I'm very
I
much because see, here's my thing, and because Ricky and I go back and forth on this. She's an amusement park fan. Like she loves Six Flags. She
Mhm.
loves Universal. She loves all this stuff. I'm an atmosphere guy. Like I love to go to Walt Disney World for
Yeah.
just being there in the park. And the thing is, if you give me 3 good attractions, a snack, a meal, and a couple of shows, like I'm good. Like anything else is gravy. But
Yeah.
I think the thing is, if you're trying to do 17 attractions, maybe it is better to not have Fast Pass. That's kind of I don't know. What do you
Yeah.
think?
So my thing is, I get up early for work and everything. My wife on vacation, if I can drag her out of the hotel by 10, I'm doing good. And so my problem is, I'm scheduling fast passes because I want to get through my first 3 so you can schedule more.
All
But
right.
I want to be done by 11, and my wife doesn't want to get to the parks till 11. And I think she's happier, which therefore makes me happier about. We rope dropped some, but usually like we rope dropped Hollywood Studios, and that day we had Rise of the Resistance and did all that, and we rope dropped, and me and the kids did Slinky Dog and Galaxy, the other one at Galaxy Edge, forget the name there, Smuggler's Run.
Yeah.
We did that before my wife and my 2-year-old even showed up, so we did that. But other than that, we don't rope drop as much anymore. That's what I used to do, and it's just a lot more relaxed atmosphere. But that Tuesday we went to Magic Kingdom. That was the day that we probably rode the most rides, and the only day we didn't hit up the pools. We probably hit the pools more than any time we ever been. We've been to Disney this time. Just again, that's at Saratoga. You got 2 feature pools that are just nice to go to, and just really hit that up. But Magic Kingdom, we rode Splash Mountain, Space Mountain. My son would do all the mountains and did that. And it's good for my youngest there. She loves the teacups and Dumbo. She calls them Umbo. She always says, I want to ride Umbo. And she really loves going over there.
That's what's that is great to hear. Now I want to ask you a couple things before we get out of here because it's going to be a little bit of a short show, but we're gonna get this in here. So you've stayed at a lot of the DVC resorts like Jumbo House over at you had a 1-bedroom there. You've stayed at Old Key West. If you had to pick one out of all these resorts that you've stayed at so far, what's your favorite and why? I mean, you have a lot of positive things to say about Saratoga, but is it overall your favorite?
Boardwalk.
So far? Boardwalk, yeah, I get that.
It's Boardwalk, and it's honest to God, Mike, it's a location. I can walk to Hollywood Studios, or I can walk to Epcot. I didn't get to see the pool at Beach Club, and that one hurts me. But Boardwalk, you're so close to Hollywood Studios. It's maybe a 10-minute walk, and you can walk right over to Epcot. You can't beat that one. And that's got to be my favorite.
Well, Boardwalk, not only can you walk to Epcot and the studios, it's such a vibrant area to be in at night, especially with things coming back now. Now it was dead in May when we went down and Boardwalk Resort wasn't open. The villas were, but the resort itself still hadn't been open. It doesn't open again until July 2nd. So it'll be open when we get back. Recently open, but I'm just used to going down there at night and it's vibrant, right? People going into ESPN, there's sports playing on the TVs right outside. There's people getting ice creams, people grabbing pizza. Sometimes there's performers on the boardwalk, people shooting hoops. With the Big River Grill's got folks eating outside. It's cool to me because, I think we're in the same boat here. Like I've never been to the Jersey, boardwalk or Atlantic City or anything like that. I've seen it in movies. And I like that vibe. I like staying there where there's like a lot happening right there at my resort. Plus, right across the way, you can go over to Beaches and Cream and take advantage of stuff over at, Yacht and Beach. I mean, there's more than just the studios and Epcot when you're staying at the Crescent Lake resorts there.
Absolutely. And, I can't wait for Boardwalk to open back up because I remember how it used to be. We'd walk out of Epcot sometimes just to go over to Boardwalk and sit on the grass and watch movies. It was vibrant. It was like an extension of Epcot, and it's just not the same, but it's going to open up soon. So I'm glad to see that. That's a neat area there.
Absolutely. We got, we're getting news fast and furious. We found out last week some fireworks coming back, Epcot Forever, Happily Ever After.
Yeah.
Were you excited?
We've seen a few.
That surprised you? I mean, what are you thinking?
From Missouri, a lot of people don't have fireworks in Missouri. We've had them, my whole time growing up, you were shooting bottle rockets and stuff. I'm not a huge firework guy, but my favorite thing about fireworks is everyone wants to go see them. And I'm over here 10-minute line, to read Pirates of the Caribbean and Splash Mountain and Thunder Mountain. So everyone goes and watches fireworks. That's my favorite thing. Bring them in parades back to get the people off the rides.
It's a nice distraction for all the suckers. I'm gonna go ride.
It is.
You guys go watch.
Yeah.
So I get it. Well, because last year, I'll be honest, we lived in St. Louis County for my whole life, right? And they're illegal in St. Louis County.
Yeah.
Not that we didn't shoot them off. Not that we didn't shoot them off. I mean, we shot off little in St. Louis County. Now we moved to St. Charles County last year, and I'm telling you, it was on like Donkey Kong out here. I could not believe it. I was like, we might have more shells than Disney like in a week. It was great. And we're planning to be a little crazy again this 4th of July. So come on over to the studios. We'll blow some stuff up because it's apparently legal out here because we have fireworks stands on every corner at this point. So yeah.
Oh yeah, just venture a little further west out to Lincoln or Warren County, and you'll see even more. Mike, it's some extravaganza out here.
There's one right outside our subdivision, a gigantic one. I mean, it is literally I could throw a rock and hit it from my front porch. It's great, and there's another one right down the street. So things are moving though. We're getting openings of restaurants. Animal Kingdom Lodge, Jumbo's opening here in August. That's very soon. Like you said, Boardwalk will be coming back next week or two. It's an exciting time, and you've been kind of with it through this whole closure and been going since August. So, what are your thoughts on the pace of things and how things are going kind of as we close this out?
That's when everyone talked about, hey, we were going in back in August, crazy, a little bit during the pandemic, but man, I was cooped up in our house and, found some great deals. I'll tell you what, I felt safer at Disney than anywhere else I did walking around home. At least they took all the precautions and they were overly cautious, and so I do give them credit, but I'm looking forward to it getting back to normal now that everyone's had the opportunity to get vaccinated and do what they need to do to get back to normal life. I'm looking forward to it, being the Disney of old, but you hear this term revenge travel and it's real, just trying to get rooms there. And I don't know if they're even opening up hotel rooms fast enough. Heck, you probably know more than me, Mike, trying to book these. It's tough.
Yeah.
We got lucky this last trip. We stayed at Saratoga for a week, and my daughter, that Friday we were leaving, she hadn't been feeling good, and she had a fever that morning. And one of the nice things about Disney, if you don't know, is they've got an urgent care shuttle. So my wife woke up early and called the shuttle. Within 10 minutes, they were there, took her to urgent care, and she had a double ear infection. And I wasn't going to take her back on a plane. And so I called Southwest, and they were great. They moved my flight to the latest flight that next Saturday, and we went over to Caribbean Beach just for one night over there, just to stay. And heck, there was only about 3 available resorts that I can even get a room at. And I know it was last minute, but it used to be you can get one last minute if you want. Now it's not where you want to stay. It's where you can stay.
Right. I mean, I'm totally seeing that with my guests. It's kind of the perfect storm too this fall with the 50th anniversary. You got all the Uber Disney fans wanting to go around, the end of September. Then we got Boo Bash. Boo Bash, put everybody over the top. Boo Bash was like, it was like free dining, but it wasn't free. It's totally not free. People are crazy about Boo Bash. And, and the thing is, like you say, revenge travel. I think it's just that, as I look at this from just my perspective of things, like we were just, COVID robbed of this time of making memories with our kids. And our kids didn't stop growing up during that 18 months or that, year period that we sat at home, when they're only 5 once, they're only 7 once. And the thing is, you can't put it off forever. And I think now everybody's like, you know what? Like we kept meaning to go and then we couldn't. And I think now everybody's like, we're going because we have the chance.
That's it. We had credits for ones we had booked. We actually had 2 trips canceled. I just feel like you got to get the most bang for my buck out of annual passes. I think I'm the sucker they're looking for. You get them hooked with these annual passes. They keep coming back every 3 months. But
that's right.
Yeah, and we had those credits, kept going back.
That's right. So real quick, what's on the horizon for you? What's your next trip? What you got planned?
So we're going down into September. We've got, I think, 4 nights at Animal Kingdom Lodge, 1 bedroom there. And then we've got, for the 50th, we are staying at Boardwalk for 2 nights in the studio there. And we're going to go to, and it's hard even getting park reservations.
Right.
And it's, we got into Epcot on the October 1st. We're going to hopefully rope drop that and maybe 8 hours later get on Ratatouille. That's our goal. We're going to ride Ratatouille and do that. And then the next day on the 2nd, we're going to head over to Magic Kingdom. Maybe we might park hop over to Magic Kingdom, but we'll see.
That was actually my theme park reservations. I had Epcot on the 1st and Magic Kingdom on the 2nd. But then they opened up some other passes about 3 weeks ago, and I was able to get Magic Kingdom on the 1st. Like on I happened to be on Twitter at the right time. That's all it was. So I was like, Disney releases more theme park reservations for October. It was like a Tuesday night at like 8:30. It just happened to be scrolling through Twitter, saw it, grabbed it. But yeah, it's gonna be a great weekend. Remember, this is what I kept telling myself. It's Epcot's birthday on October 1st too. It's just not the 50th, but it's Epcot. Birthday is October 1. So there you go. And you're right. You get to be one of the first on Ratatouille. Hopefully they don't do a ton of previews, right? Because holding out all that time, you want to be one of the first. I hate to be greedy like that, but it's like everybody's like, hey, you think it'll soft open? Well, no, not if I have an October 1st Epcot theme park reservation. Let's don't.
I'm not going to tell anyone, even if they do. Mike, I'm going to go, no, I wrote it the first day. They've been soft opening for months. I don't care. No, it's the first. I wrote it. I might even tell them I was the first in line, first cart.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Yeah, right. I was the first one right through there. Nobody even tested it. I'm the first. I'm checked out.
Absolutely.
It has been a hoot talking to you. We have a lot in common, both here in the St. Louis area, and it's just great sharing these memories. So thanks for taking the time to come on the show, and we'll be down there the same weekend, so we'll have to connect down there over the 50th.
Sounds good, Mike. It's been a pleasure.
All right. Don't forget today's show brought to you by the Magic for Less Travel. Check them out. We can still get you down there for the 50th. I can't promise you I can get you in the Magic Kingdom. Actually, I probably can't. But hey, you can still be in the area. You can be at a resort. There's still a few resorts remaining. Go to the Boo Bash. We got a lot going on. September is a great time to visit, even early September, the rest of the fall, even through 2022. So check out all the great details and let us help you out on that next Disney vacation over at themagicforless.com. Please use our Amazon affiliate link, beourguestpodcast.com/Amazon. When you do that online shopping, it's a free way to support the show. And thank you to our patrons. You guys allow us to put out these shows every week here on the feed to go all around the world. Today, you probably made somebody smile when we heard about Rob jumping across the creek to get the golf ball. I'm sure somebody smiled and I'm sure somebody laughed, and it's because of our awesome patrons. So thank you so much. If you'd like to support the show on Patreon, just visit patreon.com/beourguestpodcast. Give us a follow on social media, Instagram and Twitter at beourguestmike. I'd love to talk to you over there. Of course, subscribe to the show on Facebook and YouTube, and join us this Sunday night where Scott and myself, we get together, take your calls. We open up the phone lines. We talk Disney. We could talk fireworks. We could talk golf. We could talk all the stuff you want to talk about, the news of the week. It's all up to you. So join us on Facebook and YouTube Sunday night, 7:00 Eastern, 6:00 Central, and we'll talk to you then. All right. So let's get out of here and get on with our week. So for Rob, I'm Mike, wishing you a great Monday. Time to get back to work, and we'll see you real soon. Thanks, Rob. That was awesome. That was so funny, man. We are a lot alike, dude. I'd have totally jumped a creek for a golf ball. I'd have been like, that's good to me. I can get that.
Yeah, man, I thought I had it. Man, I'm sorry. I wish I could have gotten here earlier. I feel like we missed some stuff, but I think it was good.
No, you know what, though? When you come back from the 50th, we'll do another show.
Sounds good. Thank you, Mike.
A lot of fun. All right, you have a good night. I appreciate it. Take care.
You too. Bye.
Bye-bye. See you, everybody. We got to run.